Minister, the labour supply is a huge issue in the agriculture and equine sector. The pig and dairy industry are sectors which is heavily reliant on labour, especially in the springtime for dairy and throughout the year in the pig industry. Work permits are critical to the survival of the industry and also for the mental health of farmers, who are trying desperately to keep in line with the climate change and the viability of their farms and piggeries. I cannot stress enough the urgency of addressing the labour shortage. Have you any idea of the cumbersome and clunky to the process of applying for work permits to work on a farm? There is €1,000 upfront charge which is non-refundable, and several adverts to be published on the local paper, as well as accommodation to provide to give a net income of €30,000. Currently, shortages for next spring stand at 500. This is not just for an extra pair of hands, but the survival of a farm. In addition, there are continued charges to the immigration departments. It also seems that the farmers must pay a higher wage than the meat industry have to pay, which is hardly fair. For example, the meat industry pays €22,000 for non-EU workers, while the farming industry is paying €30,000, and extra if they're using an agency. If dairy and pig and equine industries is to continue to expand and contribute to the rural economy activity, someone will have to take charge and get this process up and running, or there will be severe consequences. Example, mental health on the farm, family and welfare of the animals. The equine industry are at their wits' end to get workers, and it seems that the advertisement most appropriate for their industry is the Irish Field newspaper, which is not considered as an Irish publication and cannot be used for advertising. Could the application process be made any more difficult? Minister, there are currently 2,181 applicants waiting for permits at this very time. This covers across, and I've said it, the farm industry, the pig industry, hospitality, haulage, construction, and there's 2,181 people waiting for permits. And yet we have people coming in from this country, Minister, which we have seen that they come in with no paperwork from the circumstance that they're coming from, and these people again are being provided by us, which is right, 100%. And I brought up actually last week here in the Dáil about a big influx of men being brought into a town near us where there was women and children being housed, and the same thing is after happening now in Killarney. I need to reverse it. So something I brought up again last week, you didn't learn from it. It happened again in Killarney. There are 195 males were coming to Killarney, and you were going moving the women and children out of a hotel. Again, Minister, there has to be a small bit of cop on here. You're not learning from your mistakes. You're not listening to the people that are on the ground. I'm in construction all my life, and thank God I'm in it, and hopefully the future will be for my family to continue it on. There's a lot of people in this country that are in farming and other sectors that might not be as lucky because of the difficulty it is to get in people to help on the farm. Because why, Minister? Every time there's a change of government, the regulations change for farming. Whether it's piggery, dairy farmers, beef farmers, the regulations change. They're the only industry in this country that regulations change every couple of years by a city-led government who have no understanding of a rural type living. But you understand it when you're sitting around the table and you're eating though, don't you? And you go into a hotel and you buy the food, you understand it, but you have no understanding how it gets there. So every time this industry suffers under new governments, and again that must change, and the city-based government also needs to change, and the city-based cabinet.